Hey y'all, what's up? It's Tuesday.
Hi.
Bobin says hello. So, okay, I know it's a little bit after 9:15. If you've been waiting for me to get on here, I appreciate you being here. So we are not drinking vodka today. We are working out. So I wanted to show you guys a few things that you can do using a towel at home, okay? So this is a yoga towel that I had for hot yoga. It's a thin towel. I know at home most of y'all I'll have a beach towel or a bathroom towel, whatever you have. What you can do with this simple piece of equipment is turn it into a cardio kind of metabolic core thing. You can also use it for strength work. I'm going to show you all some isometric exercises. So one of the problems I found that, because for years I did in-home training with clients. I went to people's houses. A lot of my clients had fully stocked gyms in their homes. I had a ton of equipment that I would bring too. But typically what's difficult is that it's hard to do a lot of like back exercises. So rowing and pulling exercises. You're restricted to doing, just a basic. We got, one arm rows of all sorts. The other day or last week I shot a video about stances. So with a one arm row or two arm row, we can go bilateral stance. So two arm row, alternating arm, more of what I call a seesaw, which is going here, or just a one arm row. Okay. From there, we can go to a sprinter stance and repeat the same sequence. So two arm, alternating arm, da-da-da-da-da. We can take this leg back more and work more on balance. So that's a way to progress just a basic bent over row. Using dumbbells or kettlebells. Yes, with an ultimate sandbag as well. So most people can't do pull-ups. If they could, that's a great option to do at home because it's body weight. If you've got a bar or something that's stable that you can grab onto and pull up. Most women can't do pull-ups. So vertical pulling is kind of an exercise that's difficult to do at home if you don't have bands or anything like that to rig it and pull. So what I'm going to do is show y'all, again, we're going to go with a towel, how y'all can work your back. And just to back up just a second, back exercises are important for all of us. Not just from a perspective of working on posture and holding good alignment, which crosses over into everything that you do. So that's crossing over into how you carry yourself throughout the day, just walking or standing, sitting. But then also too, it carries over to how you hold your body when you do activities. So if you're a triathlete, you've got running, you're on your bike, how's your position and alignment there, in the pool, swimming, any other sport that you have, any gym exercise that you have. If your alignment is shit, then everything else is going to be shit and you're going to get hurt.
I'm thinking too, while people are at home just sitting on their couch watching Netflix and they're all kind of just slumpy.
So
that's going to hurt.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what can happen. I mean, gravity is just basically forcing us down. So if you don't have the ability to hold your body in good positions, just as a byproduct of training it, then you're going to succumb to the gravitational forces and just start slumping. And that leads into back pain and injuries and this, that, and the other. So the more that you train your back and posture, you hold the positions better. So I guess that was a roundabout way of saying that we can do a lot of isometric work to train the muscles that withstand gravity. So like your postural muscles respond better to having to hold positions for time. So with that said, I'm going to show y'all how you can use this guy to do some bent over rows and then a host of other things too. So
hi Dana and Lisa and
what's
Dee
up,
Dee.
y'all? Dee Dee's been on a bunch
and
of these.
others, yes.
So awesome. I feel like I get to hang out with people that I don't get to hang out in real life as much as I would like to. So yeah, and Dee Dee. Yeah. Shannon worked out at Women in Motion way back in the day.
Back in the day.
It'd be cool if Corey jumped in on this. It was, Women in Motion. Okay, so look. So this towel, like I said, it's a yoga towel. I don't know the dimensions of it, but I'm 5'2". I don't take up a lot of space. It's easy to do a lot of things.
Must be nice.
Yeah, you know. So if you're wanting to do just a 2-arm row, you're going to stand on the towel. It might mean that you have to get down here and kind of pick up the ends once you're down there, but that's fine. So what's cool about this is that instead of doing like a row like this, where we're working through a concentric motion and then eccentric where we're lowering the weight, we're going to do what's called an isometric, which is nifty because you can pause it. You can do an isometric in any position of a movement. So what we're going to do here is get into position, and then you're just going to pull up on the towel. So I'm keeping my elbows tucked towards my body, okay? I'm not flaring out here and I'm not getting to my traps, but you can see how I'm shaking because I'm just tensing up everything and just holding it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I would suggest is performing sets of like 5 to 10 second holds, anywhere from probably like 3 to 5 reps. So if you're doing 5 second holds, maybe a set of 5, and see how that works out. Maybe start with a set of 3 5-second holds and build up. So start with the lower amount of holding, and then build up to longer. You know, which that's pretty.
Yeah, that makes
common
sense.
Lindsay
said she feels attacked by my Netflix comment.
Oh, Lindsay.
We're right there with you.
Yeah, we binged Tiger King in 2 days. So hey.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do a 1-arm row, you stand on it with one leg, and then we're going to take this other leg slightly back to just get out of the way. So if we're doing a sprinter stance, it would be the side that the leg is back, and then this other hand can hang onto the towel just to make sure it's not going to get pulled out from underneath my foot. And then from there, I'm pulling up. So it's the same kind of principle, but I'm just pulling with my right arm.
I was going to say, okay.
Yeah. So the neat thing about this is it's like,
yeah,
all this shit, this stuff.
Shiitake mushrooms.
Like, for people, okay, so I've been lifting weights since I was 17, and I tell this story often, but I remember, like, I got set up on a program by Michael Nelson at Bodyworks, at the original Bodyworks, on University Avenue in Lubbock, Texas.
Shout out.
And he set me up on a basic strength training program where I hit legs on one day and upper body on one day. And I remember, like, hating doing lat pull downs because I only felt it in my arms. And I'd be like, these are stupid. I hate them, in my head. And then there was one day where, I don't know, because I was such a devourer of information, and back then we didn't have the internet. It was just books and magazines. But I got my hand on every single muscle magazine I could get my hands on. And maybe I read something about, like, the mind-muscle connection and whatnot. There was one day where I literally, like, I remember, like, feeling my lats pull and, like, do the movement. It was like it clicked. So from then on, it was, like, easy to engage my back. And so the crazy thing is that I understand, like, how that feels. And what I've observed in clients is that it's really hard to get in tune with those muscles. I think, too, just because we can't see them. Like, it's easy to think, oh, squeeze my bicep, I see it, like, you can connect to it and whatever. But that mind-muscle connection can be difficult on these muscles back here. But once you kind of get in tune with it, I feel like it everything is golden after that.
That makes sense. And with stuff like this, you don't have a weight that you're just kind of slinging around.
Right.
Like, you're having to like,
you're
connect with that muscle.
Tension. Yeah, because it's all, everything.
It's very, like, purposeful, as it should be always, but
right.
Yeah.
But seriously, like, you're focusing just on that one aspect. You're not having to lower and raise it. Mm-hmm. People are often task-oriented. So a good example would be wall balls. How, like, when I show people how to do wall balls, their immediate assumption is, oh, I've just got to hit this target up here. They totally don't think about, I've got to squat down with a vertical torso, use the legs to drive the ball up, release it, catch it softly, and descend. It's more just let me hit this target and then not thinking about everything else. So this would be a great way to kind of make things a little bit more of a simple approach and inject some mindfulness into, like, a strength training program. One thing I was thinking about, and I'm going to show a few other exercises, but for those of y'all that might have some dumbbells at home or kettlebells or whatever, and they're not heavy enough, for you to do like a row, you could do what's called pre-exhaust. So this is like old school bodybuilding technique. So you could do like an isometric, let's just say like a 10 second contraction, and just pre-exhaust that, the muscles on this right side, flatten upper back, bicep 2, and then you could grab your dumbbell and do a set of rows.
Ah, nifty.
Yeah, so then you could also flip it and do a set of rows with a dumbbell, and then maybe do an isometric at the end. So you could do it either way of each set. So, yeah, so we showed 1-arm rows and 2-arm rows. Another thing that I was thinking, because in my head, I love pull-aparts. A lot of my clients all do pull-aparts of different variations, high rep. Band work is great because you can recover from it very fast in between workouts, and you can do it every day, and it's a great way to, I like the term bulletproof, so to bulletproof the upper back and shoulder girdle and all that good stuff. So a lot of people, this kind of stuff for all of y'all is a good thing because it works those muscles that we were talking about, the slumpy muscles. So typically I will have clients do sets of like 15 to 30 reps of these guys. There's different variations, I won't show that, but if you don't have a band at home, it's really hard to get that upper back work. So lucky for you, if you have a towel, which I hope all of y'all do.
Who doesn't have a
hope you
towel?
showered. You can kind of do a pseudo isometric pull apart. So the main thing here is that you want to make sure that you never want to be shrugging up. So the cue that I really have loved for a long, long time, probably the past decade, I think it came from Brett Jones of RKC and FMS fame. I believe it was him. It could have been Grey Coat. I don't know. But he basically said ears are shoulder poison. So like you don't want your shoulders going up to your ears, like get them away from each other. So shoulders are gonna be down. You don't want to force the shoulder blades back and squeeze that. That's a bullshit cue. Main thing is just shoulders down, and then from there, what we're gonna do is pull the towel, pull the towel apart. And so as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about planking with my body. I'm not like arching my low back or anything crazy. I'm keeping my ribs down. We could also do this in the kneeling position.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so the tall kneeling position, which is both knees on the ground, or if you're former Episcopalian like I am, it's like your kneel stand. But yeah, like kneeling plank, glutes are on, plant the toes. This gives
everything's tight.
Everything's tight. This gives you a little bit less of your body to contend with. So like if I have somebody that has a hard time like controlling this, wants to default here, typically if you go here, it'll fix that. So you could perform the pull aparts here. You could also go half kneeling, which is here, which adds, this is a real good way to stretch the hip flexors, which if you're sitting around watching Netflix all day,
Right.
I'm sure they're really tight.
Oh, Kelly just said my biggest problem from computer work, constantly shrugging shoulders.
It's like, it's almost impossible not to, you know? Like it makes you, like I've got to do a call at 2 o'clock here, and I've got to sit at my desk, and I'm dreading like the fact that I know it's going to, for me, that and my low back. Once I get up from that chair in there, I'm going to be like walking like this. So definitely, so anything, you know, anything upper back, just making all those muscles pull back and hold is definitely a good thing. So pull aparts we showed. Another little variation, I do this often, so I have my little 83-year-old client, Margaret. She does most of her stuff seated because she walks with 2 canes and has some mobility issues and this, that, and the other, so we do a lot of seated work. But I have her do pull aparts with the band, but then I also do, and I never know what to call these, well, I could show 2 things. So I have her do a pull apart variation where it's more of a tricep extension. So she'll do the pull apart like we regularly do, but I'll have her set up with elbows at 90 and then go this way.
Oh.
So it's like a tricep pull apart.
Yeah.
So you could probably do that with this guy. I didn't play around with that earlier. But yeah, you could set it up the same and then pull out that way as if you're trying to extend the arm. Yeah. And then that's going to smoke these guys right there. So again, you could pre-exhaust, do a little bit of that, and then maybe do some bench dips if your shoulders allow for it, or some old school kickbacks or something like that. So that would be a tricep pull apart. Another option would be just like a horizontal, like a row, to get in some horizontal rowing with the towel. So, you know, we're here and we're pulling up. That's a horizontal row. But if we want to do that in standing or kneeling or seated, kind of go here.
Ah.
So I'm just pulling back and squeezing, okay? And again, I would suggest 5 to 10 seconds for that one. Ooh. If that doesn't light you up, I don't know, like...
I know. I can tell
you I love working
start
back.
breathing heavy. Yeah.
I love working back. I always have. I always love doing back and bis on the same day. But yeah, like, and I love the way the back muscles look. It just looks cool. Like
Yeah.
the meat, you got the meat.
Yeah.
But okay, so another option, if we want to look at doing some vertical pulling, which, like I said earlier, is very hard to do if you don't have bands at home or you can't do pull-ups, is we could do like a pretend pull down. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I'm starting off by like pulling out against the towel, right?
Mhm.
And then, so I mean, that could be an exercise right there. Like it's a pull apart in a vertical pull apart.
Yeah, like that
okay?
in itself.
I
Yeah.
do that with the band too, where we pull the band this way. But yeah, you could do like a wide grip pull down where we're going here and just holding that. Oh, that feels good. So I'm going to where it's basically touching my head. You can, I mean, I wouldn't recommend trying to make the towel go below your head. You could go in front of you this way, but I really like just touching the head because it keeps you from wanting to like do anything crazy with your back.
That makes sense.
It's kind of a preventative kind of thing. A few other things. So if you wanted to work your guns and you didn't have biceps, I hope you have biceps. Didn't have dumbbells or something, and again, you could pre-exhaust. We could do just like a isometric curl, so you can let out as much of the towel, so you can see. I could get the isometric down here. Look at those veins.
God.
Or I could let more of the towel out and get more here. You know, we could get to a 90 degree. Any of you old school bodybuilders like ever do 21s where you curl the bar up from the bottom to the middle for 7, you go middle to top for 7, and you go full range for 7? You could do something like that, but with isometric. So yeah, you could do a towel. If this towel is long enough, I could do 2 arms and curl it, but it's not. So another thing, you could get a tricep extension. So typically you can hold a dumbbell back here, work your tris. With a towel, what you could do is hold it in one hand and then perform the isometric with the other hand. Basically where...
Ooh, that seems like a good stretch too.
Yeah, I mean, you could stretch your lat and posterior shoulder. Easy, like that's definitely a good stretch there, but if we're pulling up against it, you're going to feel tricep.
Yeah.
Okay, and you also feel a lot of this good stuff here stabilizing. This stuff is important, that rotator cuff, all this good junk up in here, I mean, for all of us. So getting it stretched and making sure things are in a good alignment and environment, so to speak, but then also strengthening them.
That's awesome.
So that was bis, tris. You could do a shoulder. I'm thinking just out loud here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do like a lateral raise. Okay, so instead of doing like these dudes, so you're just pulling up. Okay, so again, we want to try to stay out of the trap. It's really hard not to get the upper traps kicking in a little bit when you do these guys. So you just have to be, what's the word?
Aware.
Mindful.
Mindful.
Yeah, you were on it.
I'm like a little bit.
Yeah. So we're going to switch gears completely from strength training. This is something I believe BJ Gador, of the Daily BJ, former Men's Health fitness director. I ordered some of his shorts yesterday on sleeveseparately.com. I believe it was him. I used to be a member of his boot camp automator back like 10 years ago, where he would send out monthly. It was a monthly subscription for workouts, and they had like MP3 tracks at the time that were like the intervals. And he had a towel, basically. I remember seeing this and I was like, it's genius. But if you don't have a battle rope or a med ball to slam, and again, this is a yoga towel, so it's super thin. I think a beach towel or a thicker towel would be a better option because it's going to have more weight. But you can get an idea of what I'm doing here. You can take the towel, and it looks funny, but that shit's going to fire you up here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everything is tight, just as if it is with doing ropes and whatnot.
Oh, just wait till we go to the beach next time.
Yeah, and so
We're going to fling out our...
fling that sand out. Hate the sand. But yeah, so yeah, a thicker towel would be a better, more weight to do that with. But yeah, you can even use the
that's
towel
neat.
to do some conditioning metabolic work. That's core too. So that just made me think about when we go to the beach with my nanny when I was little. We would get those in South Texas. We call them coquinas, which are the little like mussel like the shells that would dig.
Oh, yeah.
And when the water comes in and goes back, and they're all pastel colored. And then you would see them dig down. So we would scoop them out and like put them in a Ziploc, and we'd take them in the car, and Nani would be like after a while they die.
Of course.
And stink.
They
up the
smelled
car.
great.
Nani drove a powder blue Monte Carlo.
Oh, Nani.
So, but yeah, I guess that's gonna wrap it up
Oh,
for today.
Kelly said old school Jack LaLanne workout with towel. I love it.
Yes.
I needed some good back moves today. Glad I jumped in.
Yes, I'm glad to have you here. So hopefully this gives y'all some ideas. You know, whether you're a fellow fitness professional or somebody that's wanting to do some exercises at home. Yeah, so
Fun.
I know there's probably more things I could concoct. I think that's enough for today. I appreciate y'all being here.
Oh, bye guys.
Okay.
Bobo, you want to say bye?
Bobo, do you want to say bye-bye? The Daily Bobo.
Aw.
His head smells like Parmesan cheese.
Say bye.
Say bye to your fans.
Say take care of your backs.
Get in your daily walk.
It's okay to binge Netflix. Just work out.
Just do some walking. Bye.